Okay, hello 3EG geographers. All right, as promised, this is to help you go through your GA3. Before I go through, there's some things I want to let you know about my marking. Okay, so firstly, you see my feedback. My handwriting is so artistic that it's hard to read. Okay, so if you don't understand my handwriting, I know it's frustrating, but please don't hesitate to ask me. Okay, I'm trying very hard to slow down, but it's not working lah. No matter what I try, it's not working well. I'm still exploring methods to make my handwriting better. Okay, but so in the meantime, if you don't understand, it's not your fault, just clarify. Okay, number two, for classwork, I will mark in green because it is to indicate that we are still learning in progress. Only when grades are counted like WA and exams, I will mark in red. Okay, now you see a lot of annotation, a lot of marking, don't panic. Now let me explain my marking to you, alright, since it's the first mark word for me. Now, if you see that I underline a straight line, okay, if you see that I underline a straight line in what you have written, it means that it is something valid, okay, it is something correct. Now, if you see a tick, it means that it is worth 1 mark. Okay, so if you see that I underline and didn't give you a tick, all right, it means that you have written something valid, but you have not written, you have not hit the point to get the mark. All right, now sometimes what is valid is like across 2-3 lines, so it's no point for me to underline everything. I will just do like this whole set is worth 1 mark, for example. Okay, now you also see wriggly lines like this. Wriggly lines means that it is not valid, that means something is wrong. Okay, next thing you will see ATQ. ATQ stands for answer the question. All right, so maybe you've written off point or you have not made reference to the question. I will write the ATQ. Please go and answer the question properly. Okay, sometimes I may write NAQ. NAQ means that your answer that you have written is not answering the question. NAQ, not answering the question. Okay, so at the end of every question, I will put the mark at the side. So let's say you get 2 marks for this question. You should see 2 ticks and then 2 marks at the side. Okay, so let's go. And last thing, I have no idea why. For some of you, I wrote in brief to show you some of the ideas we are looking out for. Like for example, I wrote something like sense of place, it will lead to this, something like that. Okay, and then some of you just wrote like this as a full answer. Okay, who taught you that? So can you please write properly? All right, now when I go through and when I plan with you, the reason why I write short sentences is because I want you all to focus and understand that we are looking out for these points. Okay, so if you phrase it differently and the points are there, you are still given the mark. All right, why I'm hesitant to write out in full is because I don't want people to go and memorize every single word. I want them to work on the thinking, which many of you have done this time. Okay, so I do see an improvement in thinking and answering the question, but there's still some careless mistakes you need to watch out for. Okay, so in this part, when you do correction, please don't copy every single word, because if you're copying every single word, then I might as well print the answer key for you. Okay, the best way to learn is to learn from mistakes. So by going through, you need to first find out what you have done right. Okay, so when you do correction, I want you to mark out what have you done right, what have you gotten the marks for. Okay, and then next, and then what are your mistakes? Why is there a mistake? How to fix it? A lot of people just copy the correct answer, but you're not aware of what is the mistake, why is there a mistake, how to fix it. So they end up repeating that mistake. Okay, so when you're doing your corrections, I don't want you to copy every single thing. I want you to add in or adjust your answer using green pen, so or another colored pen if you want to, except red. Okay, so that you know that when you revise, this is a mistake you need to avoid. All right, now let's go through the question together. Now, first one, with reference to figure 1, explain how the media might enhance or contradict. The problem with some of you is you go and write both when the question only asks for 1. Okay, so general how we give the marks. First mark, you tell me what did the media do, and the second mark, you must tell me how does it enhance or contradict people's sense of place. Okay, now let me recap because quite a few of you have conceptual error. Sense of place means that the place is special because it has certain meaning or memories tied to it. Okay, before I joined Chongqing High Yishun last year, okay, this school is, I have no sense of place of this school because this school is just like any other school to me in Singapore. All right, but now because I have frequent interaction, regular encounters here, this place has a means, like it's not just my workplace, it's also, it has certain meanings to me, has certain memories tied to it. So it is now, this school is different from other schools that I know. Okay, so my sense of place of this school has got to do with the meanings I have of this school and the memories I have of this school. All right, for example, if I just pick any spare classroom, you all will think that it's just a classroom, same as other classroom, nothing special, no sense of place. But if I ask about your 3E classroom or your 3G classroom or your own Sec 2 classroom, you all will tell me that, oh, this classroom, there's certain memories tied to it because you have a lot of interactions there and stuff like that. Okay, so that classroom is special to you because you tie it to your own memories, or it means something to you because of what happened over there. Okay, so that classroom feels different from other classroom. This is what we mean by having a sense of place. It is different from others because it is special to you. Okay, so when you talk about sense of place, I need to see this meaning and memories. All right, now for many of you, I wrote SOB not equals to SOP. Now why do I write that? SOB, when I write this, it means that some of you have wrote sense of belonging. Okay, you wrote about how people, all these things help people have a sense of belonging, and stop there as if it is a sense of place. All right, it's not true. This is a misconception. Sense of belonging often means that you feel that you belong to a certain group or a certain community. Okay, so like for example, if you say that, oh, I have a sense of belonging to my class, it doesn't mean that you feel that you belong to the classroom, but you feel that you belong to that classroom, that class community. Okay, so the people in that class. All right, or some you say, oh, I feel that I belong to Singapore. Okay, it's more like you belong to, as you feel like you are part of the group of Singaporeans, the whole country of Singaporeans, rather than just the city itself. Okay, so again, if you want to say that a sense of belonging, you can, but you really need to tie it back to what I said just now about meanings and memories. Okay, and often it is sense of place that helps to build sense of belonging, and is not the same together. Okay, so I repeat, sense of place is about the meaning you have, the memories you have to a certain place, okay, because that place is special to you, all right, it's unlike other places. Where sense of belonging is more about your feeling that you belong to a certain group of people. Okay, so my recommendation, so usually it's a case of people have a sense of place that will help build a sense of belonging rather than the other way around. So let's go into this first. So this one, 2 marks. What does the media do, and how does it enhance and contradict people's sense of place? Okay, so what did the media do? Well, basically the media, like many of you said, the media has portrayed Yishun to be an unsafe place. Okay, some of you wrote negatively. I think you need to be a bit more specific because you need to show that you are making reference to figure 1. Okay, now let me enhance your answer further. Maybe you want to specify why does it show it's an unsafe place. So from the question is about how, from the source is about because it reported about a fake bomb, a bomb hoax, sorry, a bomb hoax. All right, so this part, if you put it in, it will make your answer clearer. So how does it then enhance or contradicts people's sense of place? All right, so to enhance people's sense of place, it must either be similar or you add on meaning to people's sense of place. That means this place has meaning to people already. Okay, so you simply add on, or you show that other people think the same way as them, has the same meaning, that's why it gets enhanced. If you want to contradict, it must be different. Okay, so if you write about either one, you can get the second mark. Okay, so if you want to write about similar, then you must think similar to who. Don't just say individual. Specify which individuals will have similar sense of place about being unsafe. Okay, so a few of you wrote that therefore people only knows Yishun through such reports, okay, will feel that the report is similar to their sense of place of Yishun being unsafe. Okay, thus this report adds on to their sense of place of Yishun. Okay, so this part unpack what does enhance mean. So this part will show that you are enhancing the sense of place. Alright, now if you do not want to write this, you feel that no, some people don't, it actually contradicts their sense of place, then you can write differently. Specify who, so maybe the residents. Okay, so you can say the residents of Yishun may have a different sense of place, as they may see Yishun to be a safe home from their daily interactions. Okay, or you can phrase it differently, doesn't matter. The idea is there. Okay, so since the report portray Yishun differently from their sense of place, the report will challenge the meanings they have of Yishun. Alright? Now, some of you go on to say, challenge already, then what will happen? They may retaliate, they may express, they may weaken their sense of belonging, whatever. Logically, it makes sense, okay? But my question to you is, does it answer the question? Because the question asks you how it might enhance or contradict. It never asks you what will happen after they enhance or contradict. Okay, so those who go on to say, oh, similar already, then they will go on to express it out. Or those of you who say that, oh, because it's different, people will challenge it. Yes, I know you understand the content, but you have not answered the question. Okay, so I hope this clarifies how you can get your 2 marks from this question. Okay, just reiterate some common comments. Number 1, be a bit more specific. What do you mean? Don't just use the big concept, all right? Try to mention specific things from the source as well, okay? Like for example, individual. So the question asks about individual. Who are the individuals then? So for example, people who only knows Yishun through such reports. Okay, or maybe the residents. All right, now this is not the only answers. There are other answers available. As long as you fulfill this criteria, you will get the mark. Okay, let's move on to the next one. All right, next question. This question also quite carelessly done. Okay, so using figure 2, describe how a sense of place could be developed among the residents. Could be developed. Okay, so that means sense of place not there yet, so it then get developed. Okay, so second one is among the residents. So why are people just copying this part, some parts, and then talk about this one, visitors? How about how visitors get their sense of place? You're not answering the question. Okay, so 4 marks means there is 2 ways that it can be developed, and you must give me each step. All right, so many of you managed to bring up the first one. Okay, so the first one, many of you said that there is a unique architecture. Okay, you managed to use the concept or visually distinct also can. All right, so many of you actually use the concept terms well and able to link it to it, but not everyone managed to link it to the source here. Okay, so what is the visually distinct or a unique architecture? Okay, about the wooden single-story dwellings with tin roofs. Okay, and why is it unique? Because it cannot be found anywhere else in Singapore. Okay, so all right, so you not just need to use the content terms, you must also use what is inside the figure. Okay, some of you go and just copy without thinking. You talk about unpaved roads. Hello, unpaved road is architecture, is it? Architecture is about buildings. All right, so because it is not to be found elsewhere in Singapore, those who can identify the method, 1 mark. then tell me how it developed among the residents. So that means the residents type such buildings to be from Kampong Bangkok. Okay, or rather residents will think that only such buildings refer to Kampong Bangkok. Okay, so the meaning of Kampong Bangkok means it got to do with these buildings. All right. Second one, a lot of you want to use about the retro games, but you have not answered the question. Okay, you fall into the trick of the question. Now, the question was about how it could be developed. That means don't have sense of place, now have. Okay, because of certain things, they now grow it, develop it. So those who talk about reminiscing the past, okay, that means they already have the sense of place. Playing these games now help that, or reminiscing their past, or some will copy from here, relive their memories. Okay, so when you write that, you're telling me that they already have that sense of place, and they are just recalling it. Okay, so you're not answering the question about how it could be developed. All right, so what could you do instead? You need to reframe it into how they first developed it. Okay, so residents may have repeated encounters during their childhood. Okay, playing games such as pick up sticks. Okay, so may have repeated encounters. This is the content that we have learned, and this is what we link to in the figure. So how do they then develop this sense of place? Therefore, the residents will have childhood memories in these games in Kampong Bangkok. And what does it mean to them then? As a result, Kampong Bangkok is now tied to their childhood memories. Okay, so that would have better talk about how it is being developed rather than it is being recalled. Because when you recall means that they already have it already, you are not really answering the question about develop. Whereas this will show that how it is being developed. All right, that would have answered the question better. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Besides writing articles, suggest another way they can express their personal sense of place. Most of you have some ideas, perfectly fine, but please don't use things like poems, picture, song. What are they supposed to do with it? Okay, are they supposed to use someone else's poem, use someone else's song? Are they supposed to spray paint the poems and songs, or what? Be clear. Okay, now let's go to the next question. Using examples, describe how synergies can be achieved. This question, I think so far most of you have answered quite well. How do we give the mark? Well, synergy means that there must be benefits, right? So you must tell me 2 benefits to get the 2 marks about your synergy. Okay, so many of you wrote things like, for example, bus stops and HDB flats. Does it benefit? What are the 2 benefits? So some of you said that it is more convenient for residents, okay, to use the bus service, okay, and to get to where they want to go. All right, then some of you also talk about how the bus service benefits to sustain its business. Okay, some errors, some of you say it will attract customers and earn money. One passenger also earn money. Okay, so as you can see, this is not very clear about sustaining. So please avoid such vague terms. I'm not saying asking you to use difficult terms, but rather be clear on what you're trying to express. The idea about sufficient customers, okay, and the idea of sustaining the business. Some of you jump straight to economic sustainability without showing the in-between steps. Doesn't make sense, which is why you're not given the mark. Okay, now let's go on to the next question. 2A, this question is not bad, quite well done. So a number of you did this. You said that here has more healthcare facilities, okay, but here there isn't. Some of you said there's more shops here, but here there isn't. Some of you identified that there's gardens here on 1 but not 2. Okay, so you talk about bus stops and stuff like that. All right, a few things I want you all to do to improve your comparison. Okay, number 1, can you try to use bigger concepts to organize them? This time I didn't penalize anyone, but for you to refine your skills further, try to group them together. Okay, so what some of you did was precinct 1 has less amenities, okay, has less amenities than precinct 2. All right, then you tell me what the amenities that there is less. Precinct 1 has only, but precinct 2 has only what? Okay, another way that you can group them, some of you go by, you try to group this, instead of saying this, clinic health, you talk about healthcare facilities. Okay, precinct 2 has more healthcare facilities than precinct 1. Okay, my goodness, why am I not spelling precinct properly? All right, so any tree description, you get 3 marks. Okay, as for community gardens, why don't you use terms like communal spaces or community spaces, like we've learned before? Okay, so precinct 1 has community spaces, but not precinct 2. All right, now some of the common mistakes made. Some of you said that precinct 1 has more houses than precinct 2. My question is, how do you tell? Some of you think, oh, the shape is bigger, the shapes take up a bigger area, so therefore there's probably more housing. Let me dispel that for you, okay? Now, this is an actual map of Ang Mo Kio. You can see that this block over here and this block over here, all right, these 2 blocks takes up a bigger area than this block over here and this block over here. So does it mean that there's more housing units in this block? Let's take a look at real life, all right? Let's take a look at real life, and in 3D, you can see that these 2 blocks is only 2 stories. The bottom floor is what, as you can see, there's certain different amenities, and only the second floor has housing. All right. Whereas this block over here take up a lesser area, yet there's a lot more residential units. So unless you know the height, it is not possible for you to be able to say that this precinct has more housing units than this precinct. Okay. Likewise for parking lots, some of you said that, oh, precinct 1 has a bigger parking area, so it has more parking lots. All right, so I will use the same example. Okay, this huge parking space over here, right, compared to the multi-story car park, are you telling me that the multi-story car park necessarily has less parking space than this? Okay, but because of the height, you know, there's so many stories here, it may actually have more parking space than this open air one, even though the area of the open air one is bigger. Okay, so if you are not very clear, not very sure, let's not compare that. All right, anyway, there's more things to compare, better things to compare, like what we mentioned just now. Amenities are or commercial spaces like the shops and supermarket, or religious facilities, or like communal spaces. So these are things that you can talk about, and that will give you more than 3 differences already. Okay, now second question. Okay, some of you actually went to talk about variety also, not just the quantity. That's also another way. Next one, identify 2 spatial associations shown in figure 2. Now, some of you just copy from here without thinking. Let me go back to the definition. Spatial association is about how 2 services or land use are commonly found close together. I repeat, the key word here is commonly found. So it's not just one case that is found close together that it is a spatial association really. It must be found in multiple places. Okay, so what some of you did was kindergarten and supermarket. Kindergarten, elder care and supermarket. Oh, it's found close to each other here, so there's a spatial association in general. Not true, what? Okay, you don't always find childcare center next to a supermarket. So please, link it back please to your be clear about the life situation. All right? Next, all right, or some of you said clinic next to so when you write, for example, hawker center, so every mosque I go to most of the time, I will see hawker center with kindergarten / elder care. Which is it pairing with? Okay, pair is only 2 things, what? So it should be hawker center and kindergarten, or you write separately hawker center with elder care. You shouldn't write hawker center with kindergarten / elder care. Those who did that, I ask you to pick one because I don't know which are you pairing with. Lastly, please have some common sense. All right. Badminton. So you just quote badminton. Badminton what? Badminton shuttlecock, badminton racket. So the playground has a spatial association with a badminton racket. Is that what you mean? So I appreciate that quite a few of you actually wrote badminton court, but the rest of you, please be careful. Be clear with your answer. Likewise, parking. Parking what? Parking coupon? Parking barrier? Okay, I know you all say, very easy to remember, but you must understand, examiners are marking thousands and thousands of scripts. If they don't have the mental space to second guess for you. So you need to be clear in the expression of your answer. All right. So quite a few of you. So you can be car park with supermarket. I'm not saying that writing all this is correct. It's car park with supermarket, or car park with clinic, or car park with healthcare facility. Okay, playground with badminton court, hawker center with childcare or hawker center with elder care, okay, or hawker center with supermarket. All right. Now, you need to explain them, okay, which is where it is a bit tricky for some of you, and you were not careful. All right. Explain how it may enhance the everyday living of residents. So for those of you who tell me that you tell me about bus stop and housing. You tell me that the bus stop, the bus services are better sustained because they would attract enough customers. Okay, you have not answered the question because it's not about the residents and their everyday living. Okay, so please read the question, please plan before you write and double check that you're answering the question. So how do we give 2 marks? Well, first one is the spatial association. What does it lead to? Okay, and then from what it lead to, you can tell me how it then benefit. Benefit means it enhances, right? Okay, so 1 mark here, 1 mark here. Right? Now some of you might say, you know, my spatial association lead to the benefit immediately already. So how? Well, if you want to get 2nd mark, then you make sure you tell me 2 benefits. Okay? So either 2nd benefit or how it then lead to further benefits. That would have answered, that would have explained how it enhanced the everyday living. Okay? So let me give you an example. Quite a few of you said hawker center. Near hawker center is often found near housing HDB blocks. Okay, so many of you managed to say that by being near HDB blocks, it is more convenient for the residents to visit the hawker center to buy food, okay, to meet their needs. Okay, so there's one thing that you can talk about it. All right, you can also say they save time. All right, that's another benefit. Okay, actually convenient also means save time. Sorry, let me rephrase. All right, convenient is one benefit. Okay, so how does it further benefit them? Okay, so more likely or easier for them, more likely for them to meet their needs. Okay, so that could be a further benefit. Or if you want to say a separate benefit, they have often have constant access, easy access to affordable food. So it helps them to save money, for example. Okay, so either you tell me a further benefit or you tell me a 2nd benefit to get the 2nd mark. All right. Now, there's a common mistake that many of you make. This is what you do. For example, the most common one, you say playground and badminton court. Excellent. Okay, but this is what you do. You tell me playground, kids can play, children can play, make friends, play with other residents who are children. Okay, so they get to make friends and improve. They get to interact and make friends, which improves their social well-being. Okay, then some of you go on to say that badminton court, the adults can or elderlies can play with other residents okay, and improve their health. All right, for such answers, I gave you 0. Why? Because what you're doing is you're telling me playground has this benefit, badminton court has this benefit, but you're not answering the question. The question is asking you the benefit of the spatial association, how it enhances the everyday living. So you should be telling me when they are located close to each other, how does it enhance their life? How does it benefit them? It's not individual facility. Okay, so how should you answer then instead? Okay, so one way is, alright, so playground and the association is playground and badminton court. So what's the benefit? When parents of young children send their children to play in the playground, okay, they can also supervise their children while playing at the nearby badminton court. Okay, so that's one benefit. They can supervise, okay, and meet. So maybe make it more clear. This allows them to meet their physical needs while saving time. Okay, so that's one clear benefit. You can go about a further benefit. Okay, a further benefit can be, for example, while they do this, then they have more time to meet their other needs in their day-to-day life. Okay, or if you don't want to write further benefit, you want to write another benefit, you can say, or another further benefit, maybe I just write, okay, so since they are better able to meet their physical needs, they are more likely to live a healthier life. Okay, so it goes back to the fact that because these two are found close to each other, that's why it leads to this benefit, which can lead to another benefit, this further benefit, or this further benefit. Okay, if you don't write further benefits, you want to talk about two different benefits. Okay, you can also say that this also allows the parents to have more chances to meet and interact with each other while their children are playing. Okay, so thus the adults, the parents can form friendships with other residents, allowing them to have more social support. Or some of you want to write about better social well-being, also can. Okay, so again, you may say, it's very similar to here, right? But this one is playground, badminton, separated. This is saying that because it's close to each other, it allows them to get both benefits. If they are not close to each other, these benefits will not happen. Okay, so that's the slight difference, and whether it answers the question or not. Okay, so I hope you have greater clarity of how this is done. If you're not clear, feel free to clarify with me, and I will see you in class the next week. All right.